some men flip houses, Gary flips chaos. He's juggled 12 deals at once, traveled the country, burnt out, rebuilt, and then did it again. This is the guy other investors call when they're overwhelmed, and he already has so much work to do, and the dude barely sleeps. If you want to know what it really costs to chase big money in real estate, stay locked in, because Gary doesn't hold back. This isn't a game. For him, this is flipping for survival. The full interview starts now.
How many events do you make it a goal to try to go to events frequently? Or?
Yeah, I think they're good to go. You know, like good to like. I try to go to like at least one a month. You know.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do you like? What's your goal when you go to an event? Is it you just shake hands, or you have a goal?
No, with the events, I think they're good. Just you know, just to like be around like-minded people and everything. And you know, it's like we're in a business that's so like we're just so isolated at times, you know? So it's like good to be around other people that are in the same industry doing the same things. So
how do you feel about networking events?
Oh,
I feel like you have a different perspective on it.
Dude, exactly what you just said, except I don't want to go. And like I know I should go, but like is this the effort? Like for example, like Shay invited me to this one in Norwalk like last month, and I was like, dude. Like I mapped it and I was like, that's like an hour 20 just to go to something. I'm going to stay an hour and then drive an hour back. And I was like an hour 20 back. I was like, geez, man, I couldn't justify it. But then I see like the Thu going like the Sulington meetups and like other shit. I'm like, this kid just travels. Couldn't be me.
You know where we met?
Who?
You know where we met?
Who met?
Us.
Oh, where we meet?
Yeah.
Where did we meet?
At a meetup.
Yeah. Oh, we did meet at
Brian's meetup. Yeah.
That's Brian's meetup. That's right. Yeah. Brian meets, he connects people.
And now look, now we have the deal, you know?
Yeah, now we're doing deals together. Isn't that crazy?
It's pretty cool. That's
try to
it.
hammer it to him. I'm like,
yeah.
You never know, bro.
I show up. I just complain the entire way there. I just complain the entire way there. But no, it's good. And you meet a lot of folks, good people. So I don't blame you.
Cool. All right. It's kind of a heavier question, but do you think wholesaling's dying, dude?
Ooh, I do.
Oh God.
Explain.
Wholesaling's dead.
Right? Oh God. Don't tell me
Where do you think wholesaling's going?
I think things are going to change with like legislation, and I think really like elderly. I think that's going to be a big thing that changes. Like people can't, you know, go after the elderly as hard and, you know, steal a 90-year-old lady's house for, you know, 20 cents on the dollar. I think that's going to go. Yeah. You know, there's going to be some protection there a little bit.
What do you see happening?
I think there's going to be laws regarding that, like where, like I think some of the, was there a rule about like they were going to allow them to back out at any time?
Yeah, they were trying to push
like 65 plus or something. Yeah.
Oh,
65 plus can back out at any moment.
Really?
Yeah. So it still lets them sell, but they still have the option to, you know, back out.
I see. That's terrible.
That's interesting. How'd you hear that? I had no idea.
The legislation stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been active out there. There's a couple investors that are pretty heavy on it. I know they hired like a lobbyist to like, you know, do all that.
I heard from someone, I'm not dropping their name, that like they like what you like said a lot. They had like a lobbyist going out there, and like they're trying to fight it, and I guess it was looking good. And I hope so, at least, because like if wholesaling goes away, then me and Marcos are now out of business. So.
No, but I mean, think about this. Then you figure out other ways to capitalize, right? Like then you start closing on proproperties and putting them up for sale.
Yeah, a lot
you know,
of innovation, stuff like
or
that.
just even like listings. Like you can make good money as just a listing. You know, 3% on a $500,000 house.
Not bad.
You know, 15 grand. That's
money.
Like it's money.
How do you also feel about wholesalers making like crazy spreads today?
I don't care at all.
You don't care?
I mean, as long as I make money as a flipper, you know, and the deal makes sense for me, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I paid, you know, over $100,000 on assignment fees, you know?
Really?
Yeah, multiple times. Yeah.
We've had people before who are like, like, you know, that's fucked up that wholesalers making more. We've had people, again, on the opposite side saying like, you know, wholesalers deserve all the credit. Where do you kind of stand? You say you don't care.
I don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, they're finding a deal that I didn't get, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, so I mean, I get all my deals pretty much from wholesalers.
Yeah.
So without that, you know, like where would I be? I'd be out there having to be in the trenches myself and, you know, go find these deals. So there's a lot of time. It's a full-time job. I wholesaled. I started out wholesaling, you know, so it's a hustle, you know, so I respect the hustle, and numbers make sense. Numbers make sense.
It's a grind. No, it's a grind. That's for sure.
Yep.
Interesting. You said So you have experience. You started off wholesaling.
I did. Yeah.
Was there previous sales experience before that, or did you just dive straight into real estate?
Yeah. So like in college, I ran a painting company.
Word.
Yeah, it's called College Pro Painters. There's like a franchise. I ran the Shoreline in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I did that, and then but I learned how to market like door to door. You know, we did like calling and a lot of real estate practices that are like applicable.
Yeah.
We use those strategies to find houses to paint. You know, in the summer, and so I did that for 2 years, and that was kind of like how I learned like business. You know, and then after that, I realized like I want to get into real estate eventually.
Yeah.
And I saw my landlord making bank when I was in college, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is crazy. This dump of a house, they're making $5,000 a month. Like what? Like this is absurd.
Crazy?
Yeah. Student rentals? Yeah.
Dude, no joke.
No joke.
They're selling a student rental next to UConn.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to get $7 million for it.
What?
Yeah. I think was it $7 million? I think it was $7 million. I think it was an obscure number.
It's like a lot of units.
It wasn't like the fact that it was big. It was the fact that UConn has exclusive rights to it for the next like X amount of years. So it's guaranteed to profit you that exact amount, no matter what.
Yeah.
Because they're like paying for it. So that's why they're like trying to sell it. But I was like, geez. The deal got brought to me and I was like, oh my gosh, who's going to buy that? He's like, well, actually, it's quite lucrative. And I was like, all right. Like, not for me, man. like I couldn't do it.
That's awesome. Can you touch upon the CT Pro Painters? You said it was a franchise.
Yeah.
Did you? How does that work for somebody who doesn't know about franchises? How does that? Do you? Does somebody train you and then you go do it, or how does that work?
Yeah. So it's like basically all around the country in Canada, they had these franchises, and what you do is you buy into it each year. So you'd pay like I think it was like $20,000, but you'd pay it like over time in the summer, and they train you, you know, like go to these courses and, you know, like classes and then there's like in-person training and all this stuff. And you kind of learn how to run a business. And then it's like, you're essentially part of a team, right? So you have like each week you'll have like calls and, you know, stuff with like a coach and like, you know, they help you out and stuff. So yeah. Yep.
And it sounds like you hired college kids.
We did. Yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Cause you get half of them are like hungover, you know, trying to like get them to like work and paint a house. And they're like, you know,
really? Was there ever any issues with the homeowners seeing hungover college kids?
It didn't get that bad.
That's good.
No, I think the worst was when I hired my brother. Took like 16 hours to power wash like a deck. Like just like inexperienced, you know, just he's like power washing underneath and like everything.
Poor guy. Did you make money doing it though?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Especially in college. Like you're like, you know, like, whoa, it's like your first like time where you're actually making, you know, money. That's not like a hourly, you know, job. And you're like, whoa, like this is business, you know? So
how big was your team back then?
We had 3 crews and then like part-time group. So yeah, we had like 12 guys.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we were cranking them. Yeah, we do like, I don't know, I think one year we did like 60 houses in summer.
Oh really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is that in gross?
Like 135,000.
Jeez.
Yeah.
College kids, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not bad for a summer.
No.
Okay. So you did it during college.
Mm-hmm.
You graduate. What then?
Then started doing solar, and I worked for like a roofing company, siding, and I did like sales for them.
Yeah.
So I always like say like I just like sales, you know. So I would, you know, do appointments and stuff like that for. We did roofing, siding, windows, door, like home improvement company, and gave me a truck. You know, it was like you know, salary plus commission. I was like, all right, I got the salary. I'm living at home. You know, so at the time it was like, you know, it was fine. But I knew it wasn't what I wanted to like do long term. You know, but it was cool for right out of school. Yeah,
interesting.
Like that.
So sales.
Yeah.
You either love it or you hate it. It sounds like
I hate. Yeah, I don't like sales.
You don't like sales?
Not really. No,
really?
I don't like the high pressure sales. Like what you see a lot like online. You know, like all the
the gurus that are gonna sell you a fucking DME objective for my $97 course, which is gonna help you overcome every single objection.
Yeah, like that stuff's just too much.
No, I don't.
For me.
Yeah, no, it's tough. No, it's tough, and it's like that's like forced down your throat. I like to have like the more like personal sales approach.
Yeah, 100%.
Asking questions. How can I help you? It's like make them feel like a person, not a stat.
And if you're authentic, I think
if
you're authentic, right, then it's just like, you know,
that's the close. I
That's
live
it.
for it. It's great.
Okay.
Unless I have to be aggressive, but
What did you guys like? What was like a key lesson or moment that like really exploded your sales skills? Because I feel like a lot of us start off and we're like really nervous and it's like hard and people quit. But like you guys are obviously here. You both are fantastic at what you guys do.
right. Yeah.
What was that like moment that clicked for you and you guys were like, holy shit, this is sales is it.
Oh, me?
I'd like to get both of you.
Oh, word.
Everyone.
My oh shit moment was this lady named she's not gonna watch this. Her name was Ashley. I was showing her a house. This is when I was like,
shout out Ashley.
Shout out Ashley. She changed my life. I was like 20 or 21, one or the other. And I was showing her this house, and like it had like a retaining wall, and I didn't even know what it was called at the time. I was like, it has this wall. I was like, it looks like it's in really great shape. It's beautiful. I was like, actually, I think that adds a lot of value to the property. I had no idea what I was saying, and it was like it was like crumbling, and I was like really trying to sell it to her, and she looked at me and she was like, Nick, she's like, look at this wall, and I was like, she's like, come on, this is shit. She's like, Nick, she goes, I really appreciate you trying to sell me this. She goes, but less is more. She goes, I'm just gonna take a look around and I'll let you know if I like it. And I was like, huh, all right. Ever since then, she changed my life. Little does she know, because now I just don't say anything. Now, whenever somebody asks me something, I just like give a 5-second like answer, and then I just reflect it back or mirror it back onto them and ask like a different question, different spin. Like you keep spinning it. I'll let the prospect talk about themselves 90% of the time. I'll talk about myself 10% of the time.
That's what I was gonna say. Damn.
Wait, really?
Well, basically, what I was gonna say is like I remember sitting in like my first appointment trying to sell the paint job, to this homeowner.
Yeah.
And I'm going through everything in the pamphlet, you know what I mean? Like just,
you're
just selling them everything you can, like just telling them all this, like how great the company is and what we're going to do. And, all our history, like everything, that you can, just to like really try and kill the presentation. Right. And just sell them, cause you think like, oh, I'm selling, like I'm doing such a good job. Yeah. I'm just presenting. And, it almost felt like you're in school, like present, like you're up in front of the class and you're just like
presenting a project,
going through a presentation. And then you realize like after that, it's like, wait, like you're just talking the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like, it's not conversational. It's like imagine being in their shoes, what they're like, how that is. They're just sitting there, like just hearing you just like rant and kind of go on, and you're just like, do they really care what year like College Pro Painters was founded? Like, no. Like, do they care about it? Like there's like stuff like that. You're just like, all right. Like, and then I think after a while, then you realize like, okay, I don't have to like sell that hard. Like they're gonna like work with you because they like you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were painting, we're 19, 20 years old. You think that they really thought we were experienced painters and they hired us because we were experienced painters? Like, no, they just trusted that, all right, these kids are going to get the job done. Like, I trust that, like, he's going to stand behind his work and they're going to deliver on it, you know? So there's like different things you like,
smart.
You realize like what is actually important to these people.
Yeah.
So
that's
really funny.
That's really
turn the pamphlet over about the founders.
It's like
if you think about it, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You present it.
But it changes.
It changes,
Yep.
Okay.
That's a fact.
So painting, solar, you said you knew that you didn't want to do solar. Was it solar specifically?
Yeah, I knew that, like, I just knew that sales, like, itself wasn't just going to be my, like, some sales job, wasn't going to be my end all.
Yeah.
So I always kind of, like, wanted to do real estate. I just didn't know, like, how that was going to be. So that's why I packed up all my stuff, drove out to Las Vegas.
Dude,
and made the move.
Made the move.
Made the move to Vegas.
Was it thanks to that landlord in college?
Yeah, pretty much that, and and I didn't know like what I really wanted to do, but like I looked out there, properties were cheap. I was like, I'm gonna go out there. I worked for a painting company there, in a sales role, same like commercial style, same company as the other one. And I just did that as like a sales role to like qualify to get a house. And then I house hacked like a 7-bedroom.
Yeah.
And then that was like, I started like getting money from real estate, like what my, landlord was doing. And then I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
So I house hacked and then quit my job and then just started wholesaling.
Okay. So you house hacked like a single family that you rented rooms?
Yeah, 7 bedrooms.
That's crazy.
And I lived in like the master.
Yeah.
And then I rented out the other 6 bedrooms. I had a couple like friends move in and then a couple randos. So there's
friends from here?
No, Vegas. All in people in Vegas.
Weird.
Wow.
And I got
what were you renting rooms for? Sorry.
like money wise?
Yeah.
Like $600-$700 a month.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I was living in the just the master for free, like cash flowing like a couple thousand. I was like, wait, this is legit.
Yeah,
I was like, I like real estate.
Yeah, right? It's not bad. It's not
Really?
bad.
So-
and you get the write off, like everything.
Before
Yeah.
we go into more about about Vegas itself,
Yeah.
it seems like you just kind of you stuffed your car. You said, "I'm out, deuces, peace, love you guys." Was that transition easy for you? What was that like?
No, I wanted
Did you have
to.
a girlfriend at the time? Family?
No.
Like
I have family. I just wanted to like, and no girlfriend. I just wanted to like move. I didn't want to be in Connecticut at the time. I was just like, I wanted like a change,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm back in my hometown, I'm like, after college, I'm just like, this isn't it,
Where'd you go
So-
to college?
University of New Haven.
Okay,
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
got you. And were you looking at other places besides Vegas, or was it?
Where else? I looked at in Florida, like Hollywood, Florida. I was looking there or Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted like somewhere with like kind of like action, like
Yeah.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I actually flew out there like a month before I packed up my stuff.
Yeah.
I just like flew out there. I literally interviewed with that one company. I checked out like some house that I found on like Craigslist,
Yeah.
like a rent by the room, like same thing that I end up doing for people afterwards.
Yeah.
And I rented a room like in like same thing, like a 6 or 7 bedroom house.
Oh shoot.
And I just, for like $600 a month, and I just did that, saved up some money. But that was like I just had to get out of Connecticut. I wanted like a different scenery.
Huh.
So
Smart.
Yeah.
Genius.
Those some balls, dude.
yeah, I mean, at first it was like pretty lonely. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
just like go to the gym, like, just to kind of hunker down, work, gym, and yeah.
Sleep, repeat.
But like people hear Vegas and they think like, oh yeah, go gamble, drink, like party all. I was like kind of just focused. Like I didn't gamble, I didn't drink, I didn't like do any of that. I just kind of locked in on work and then real estate eventually. So
Word.
Where do you think that like that drive to work comes from? It's like you're born with it, develop it. Like what motivates that?
I don't know. I think born with it. Like really, honestly, I don't know. I think people have it or they don't really. So
So this
you
is
disagree?
So are you saying that not everyone can be successful?
No, that's not true. I just think that the motivation to do like anything, like you either have it or you don't. I don't think like I think there are people that constantly get in like the hamster wheel, and they'll stay in that like wheel.
What do you think, Nick?
Disagree?
Yeah, can people?
Oh,
Can everyone be successful, or do you think some people just don't got it?
I think no, I don't think everyone can be successful. Myself, like if I didn't have Marcos, I don't feel like we'd be going we'll be building the business the way we're building it, because I'm like not that like Marcos, is a very hardworking guy in the sense of like getting shit done without like no matter what, he'll always just work until it gets done type of thing. I'm like, all right, I did X, Y, and Z.
Marcus 11.
Yeah, and now I'm like, I'm tired. If like Marcos is tired, he'll be like, I want to keep working. Like Alex Ramosi style. If I'm tired, I'm like, oh man, let me just veg out for a few, and I'll just fall asleep, and then nothing will get done. But no, I like, and I'm good at one thing. I'm good at like the selling aspect of it, the selling, the acquisition, and that's about it. And then like networking.
You work hard though.
No, I know. I'm not this guy. I
work
like
hard.
100%. We work hard, but like, I mean, I don't want to do everything. Like some people do everything, and I want to do everything. I'm just trying to like solopreneurs. I respect because they like do everything themselves, and I'm
Yeah.
too lazy to do that.
You want to do what you're good at.
Yeah, I just want to do the one thing I'm good at and let Marcus focus on everything else. That's how I be looking at it. Right? Like, no, I'm kidding. We're
Dude,
doing it,
I gotta keep up somehow, bro.
No,
That's why I feel the same way about you, dude.
no, dude. I
I feel
don't
the same way.
I swear.
Wouldn't be here without you, dude.
There we go. I love when we glaze each other. Yes.
Dude, is that gay?
No, it's not. No, it's good. It's good.
No.
We need like, do we need? Yeah, we just need to hear it.
Anyways,
But yeah,
anyways,
yeah.
feel free to ask.
Dude. Question for you.
What
I
you
always
got?
wanted to know this. In that Stratford deal that I sent to you, like what, 2 years ago now? It's like with the fire damage like foundation.
Yeah,
Do you think you would have made money on that deal? Looking back at it,
it's tough.
it was a tough one.
Yeah, I mean the guy backed out.
He did back. Oh God, he was nuts.
He renovated the house.
Huh?
He's renovating. You know.
Is he really?
Yeah.
You know why? Because I think he ended up getting that insurance claim.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he decided, like, when he saw like what he could do, he said, "Fuck it."
I bought a house 2 streets over from there. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I was curious because I wanted to do that deal, but I was like,
Yeah, it's a tough one.
that was a tough one. That foundation was shot.
That's your one question though. He's
I don't
like, I got one. What do you think about that Stratford house from 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's been a while. We've known each other for
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're doing more stuff together. That's good.
Yeah.
Though.
Dang, dude.
But yeah, that was my question. Yeah, I don't like the Marcus. He like writes down questions. I just show up.
Yeah.
It's like,
Can you break down? I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, but let's stick on the house hacking.
Okay.
Define house hacking, and has it changed? Is it different today than when you first house hacked?
I mean, house hacking is essentially like go get conventional FHA mortgage. You know what I mean, on a house.
Yeah.
And then rent out the rooms while you're living there.
Mm-hmm.
Your house hack, like living for like free, or I guess it doesn't have to be free technically, but a successful house hack would be right. You're making money on it. Isn't the whole concept kind of just the like you're using a conventional mortgage?
yeah,
Yeah.
Ideally, right? Yeah.
You hear it nonstop.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, I want to get into real estate and I want a house hack. And
Yeah.
like, good for you, man. Good. Cool. And they like, they tell you it's like, oh, it's going to be so easy. I mean, what's your experience dealing with tenants? And is it as easy as they make it seem?
Imagine having one kitchen for 7 people, and then some of them have girlfriends or boyfriends, and then it's like, now you got 15 people like using one kitchen. Like we have cleaner every week. Like every week a cleaner was coming in to clean mainly the kitchen. That was the biggest thing.
That's crazy. How many bathrooms?
I think there were 4 or 5. 4?
That's good.
Bathrooms are good.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
healthy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's healthy. That's healthy.
But the kitchen, that was the biggest thing. It's just
Yeah.
like literally like, all right, dishes, like,
Yeah.
Interesting.
clean the dishes, put them away. Like we had like a rule sheet, like, at the,
Oh, shoot.
like there just to like tell people like, hey,
Yeah.
put
Like-
this away, do this.
Like, don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah. No, you gotta.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
What are like maybe 2-3 things that somebody who is getting into house hacking, what can they kind of do to set themselves up for success?
I think they gotta like kind of look at the numbers a little bit, because I think some people think everyone wants a house hack, right? But then they're not looking realistically at what they're buying, like how much they're buying a house for,
Mhm.
and like what the what the mortgage is going to be, like like what. So all right, they think they're house hacking, but like in reality they're losing. They're like
Mm-hmm.
paying thousands of dollars, overpaid for a house probably too.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then they have to keep it for how long now to like actually
Make money. Yeah.
make money. It's like, they got to be kind of a little educated in that regard.
Interesting.
Not just qualify for the whatever I
Yeah.
could qualify for, and then go get a house that big,
Yeah.
and you could do up to 4 units too on the conventional loans.
Yeah. Even Cafe nowadays lets you do 4
Yeah.
units. It's crazy.
Mhm.
How do you underwrite your deals when you're buying just like bigger stuff? What do you do to underwrite? Like, do you look at like capex? Do you look at like your cash on cash? Do you look at like just appreciation over time? What do you look for?
A little bit of everything.
Or-
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's like one right formula, It's not
Yeah.
like there's, I don't, because you rule out so many deals, if you
Yeah.
only look at based on like people are like, oh, cap rate's got to be 10. I want a 10 cap,
we all-
like, yeah, everyone wants a 10 cap,
Yeah.
But it's like, you got to look at other things on a deal too. Like, we're starting to look more at properties where they'll hold like a second mortgage on a property. So it's like, or you could buy with like low money in.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're like, our strategy on that is a long-term hold. So we don't really care as much in the short term what happens, because
Yeah.
we're just going to,
Hold it.
we're holding on to it,
Mhm.
So, that's a way to like try and make some deals out of essentially nothing, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Smart. How do you buy? Do you buy like all cash? Do you like take out loans? Do you borrow money? Do you take equity partners? What does it look like for you?
I mean, a little bit of everything, but mainly hard money, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. Use a lot of like, you know, Pinnacle, shout out Pinnacle.
Yeah.
You know, use
Good
them
guys.
on the loans
Yeah.
and, you know, do that and then refi like on a hold, you know, just refi into like long-term debt.
Yeah.
But, yeah, mainly like the hard money.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Smart, man.
Yeah.
They do it. You get cheap hard money, man. With Pinnacle, well, at least you with like your terms and everything, it was like compared to like where other lenders were, like you had the cheapest like hard money in terms of like the cost.
Well, I think people always ask what percentage in points, but they don't they're not looking at all the other fees associated.
Yeah.
Like some of these lenders charge like, they have like, you know, 10 grand in like just random fees, you know, it'd be like $2,000 for an appraisal. And it's like, what? You didn't go to the house.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and there's like all these ridiculous fees that people don't even know about.
Yeah.
How's your business structured right now? What are you guys focusing on?
Mainly like single family flips.
Mm-hmm.
And then also just like looking for more buy and hold, like larger multifamilies. Larger, I mean, not that big, like over 4 units, you know, like, because I think doing like 2 or 3 families is just like, small. It's small. Yeah. Like, it takes just as much work to find that as it does you know, seven unit or something, you know.
Yeah.
So
how do you guys come across your deals?
pretty much wholesalers. Yeah, like network with wholesalers, and you know,
Word.
That's been like the majority of finding deals that way.
Do you still wholesale yourself to some degree or no?
Here and there, yeah. Like if there's like a deal, you know, sometimes you just come across something it's like doesn't fit buy box, or just like if I know someone wants something in a specific area and I'm like, all right, I don't, you know, I'm not focusing in Middletown, you know, or something like some random area, then I'm like,
you won't flip in Middletown? Oh my God, there's money.
Well, I didn't have properties there at the time, and I knew someone that did. I was like, all right, you know,
smart man.
Yeah.
So if you say, let's say you had 30 days and you had to find something, what are you doing? What are you doing the first week? Let's say you have 30 days to either pick your poison. You want a wholesale, or you want to find a flip. You have 30 days to do it. What is Gary doing?
I would literally go sit on the Facebook groups for 2 weeks and like just scour it, and then every time someone posts a deal on there, just hit them up like right away.
Yeah. And
you know, within 30 days you probably find a deal. Also message people through those groups, like just at like, hey, you know, do you have any deals?
Yeah.
I saw you know, posting in the groups about, you know, wholesaling, and just like connect with like wholesalers that way. Just think about it. It's like you don't have to go to a network event and like go talk to like, you know, 100 people, you know, to go find like, you know,
one good wholesaler.
Yeah, one wholesaler that might bring you a deal, you know?
Yeah.
Instead you could just literally just sit behind your computer and like hit people around your phone, whatever. And you could do it at any time too, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be like, you know, there's no, I mean, you might not get responses at like 11 p.m., but you could still just fire away messages to people, and then, you know, you get some responses back in the morning.
Smart. So when you go to networking events, how many, like, this in terms of like people you go to actually do business, how many people would you say you go to a network event and you know do business versus people who just go to like pretend they do something? Or
how do you vet people?
Spread their wings.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I don't,
not to be mean.
No, it's tough. I don't know. It is tough to know, right?
Yeah.
Like you just don't know sometimes. It also depends on how you meet someone too. Cause you might like, we're all guilty of it probably too. Like judging, you know, you judge people, like you look at, maybe you're like, yeah, that person, I don't think they're doing deals. And then you like actually find out like, whoa,
they do deals.
Yeah, that guy's legit.
I feel you. There was a kid, I use this reference a lot, and I forget his name. I've never seen him again.
You know his name.
Huh?
You know his name.
No, I genuinely forgot his name. I think it was
no name dropping though. It's all right.
You know, it's funny because I hope I'm not the reason that like he left the industry, but like I think I might be the reason that he left the industry is because we met him at an event, and he introduced himself. He's like, so what do you guys do? I was like, we're wholesalers, investors, whatever. This is like summer of last year. And so we're chatting with him. I was like, so okay, what do you do? He's like, oh, I'm a wholesaler. Oh, cool, man. How, like, what's your like primary like area? He's like, oh, I cover the whole state. And I was like, cool. How many deals? Like, what you got going on? What are you working on? Maybe we can do something together. And he's like, oh, nothing. I just started today. And I was like, What? He's like, yeah, I just this is my first meetup. He's like, I watched a video about wholesale, how I can make money. So I decided I'm gonna start wholesaling.
Yeah.
And I was like, so you've like never done like anything? He's like, yeah. But like, I was like, what do you do? He's like, nothing. I'm a wholesaler. And I was like, all right. So and then he messaged me like a week later asking a question about a contract. He like got some contract from like a guru Discord he was in, and then I just forgot to respond to him, and then I never saw him again.
Really?
Hope I'm not the reason that he like.
Yeah, but like I remember being literally in those like remember being in the room for. Do you remember your first meetup you ever went to when you didn't know anything, or did you even go when you didn't know anything?
Well, no, because I went when I was him. No offense,
Yeah.
not to glaze myself. That was really me. Cut that out. No, I went like I started going to meetups after I was with Luke for a while.
Okay.
So I was already like doing deals and shit, and then I went in there like, but I was going in there like as like, hey, I'm a freedom property type of thing.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went together, right?
Yeah, we went to a RIA together.
We just
It's embarrassing.
All we had was a. No, we did we have Wilbur at the time?
Yeah, we had all of our. Yeah, we had Wilbur, we had Stearns.
Oh, we had two properties together. That was it.
Yeah.
I knew nothing else besides
Then we own
how to swing a
property.
hammer and
Then we own
You know,
houses.
the couple nights that we spent a lot of money and time at fixing up the units.
Yeah.
Rented.
Brutal.
That was all I knew.
That's Bristol.
Yes, we have
Bristol
the
and
Bristol one. We sold it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
And then we have a 4-family at Meriden. Nice house.
Yeah.
We might sell that too. If we get something bigger. If there's like anything like 10, 20 units, we have so much equity in that 4-family, we'll just 1031 into something bigger.
That's the move.
So we're looking to like go to like I talked to like Joe Salzillo at the meetup. I talked to Matt people. I was like, yo, anything big?
Yeah.
I was like, that makes sense. Cause like just like give me money. You say that and someone they're trying to dispo like a 20 unit in Bristol for 2.6 million. And I was like, 20 units in Bristol,
Yeah.
2.6 million. I was like, come on. So not the best.
Seems a little high, no?
Oh my God.
Seems like a deal you'd sell.
Yeah. For real, like I would be like, this is a deal. Like, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
just got this deal.
Yeah, right. It's a little. Listen, Stanford. I think that's a deal. I'm just saying, but someone will buy it. Someone will buy it. It's Stanford. Someone will buy it.
It's his arena, man. He knows
Someone will buy
best.
it. I said.
He knows best.
Someone will buy
I
it.
just
I
bring
agree.
him coffee.
I agree with him.
Yeah, if it wasn't in Stanford, I don't think. Wait, what'd you say?
I said you know best. I just bring you coffee and rub your feet.
That's fact. Oh, it's facts. He was my feet, dude. No, but no. If it was anywhere else, I wouldn't want to do the deal. But solely because it's in Stanford, on like a good street, I was like, this is like, fuck it. And it's 2 houses on 1 lot, so I think someone will take it. Watch no one take it. I just wasted all this time, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
So most of your deals come from wholesalers. You network quite often. You put yourself out there. In Vegas, how many flips did you have going on at your? I mean, would you say you're at your peak? Was there like a big moment for you where, like, you had a lot going on, and then maybe you you're back here in Vegas. How many flips did you have going on at once?
Vegas, actually, not that many. It wasn't that crazy, you know. We do like couple, like 2 or 3 at a time, you know. Like it wasn't not really that much. I just was kind of like starting out there, you know.
Gotcha.
And then my next like step after that was virtually wholesaling and flipping in Columbus, Ohio.
Really?
So-
Why there?
So basically what happened was like the market just got crazy in Vegas, like super competitive.
Yeah.
And like there were like, you know, Chinese and
Oh shit.
and you know, Israel, like different countries were buying, you know, foreign, you know,
Yeah.
people were buying, and it just got crazy competitive. And so we're like, you know what? Like let's well, it was just me saying it. I'm talking to myself. I just decided, you know, all right, I'm gonna like pivot and go to a different market. So I saw in Columbus, Ohio, like a 2-family for like 30, I think it was
God damn.
35 grand
Jeez.
for a for a 2-family that was making like, I was bringing like, I think like 1250 or something. It was not like crazy, but it was just like doing quick math. Like, wait, like this is absurd. Like this house would be paid off like in like a couple of years, you know? I mean, looking back, should have kept it, didn't keep it, but that's okay.
Damn. How much you make on it if you sold it?
We sold it for like 75.
Okay.
Yeah, we like doubled our, you know, our money.
Yeah.
So I bought that. My buddy who I did the painting with, the
Yeah.
college pro painters. Like
Yeah.
he lived in Ohio. So like we started, we bought our first like rental like that out there.
Shoot.
And then I started kind of doing using the same marketing strategies, marketing out there to like pre-foreclosures and
Got you.
start doing that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm boring you.
No, dude.
He's like,
You know, it's fucked up. I was supposed to get my second coffee. And I didn't get it. I was like, I'll do it before Gary comes.
I told him.
As you saw, I was laid out when you came, dude.
it's all right.
I'm sorry. That was so disrespectful. I feel terrible.
Okay.
about that.
You said you use the same marketing strategies.
Yeah.
What were your go-to strategies?
Like just call. I mean, at the time, like calls and texts. That was like
Yeah.
just firing away with having a VA, just calling and texting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a VA.
Yeah.
What was that like?
VA?
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. Good. Hired on Upwork and stuff. You guys use Upwork?
We use online jobs.
Okay.
Upwork's cool.
Yeah.
We use
Same-
it to like
same
program
kind of
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we need like a one-time specialist,
Mm-hmm.
definitely hit up Upwork.
Yeah.
For sure.
You said Ohio was with the painting guy. When you hired the VA, was that just for you? Were
Yeah.
those deals just for you? The whole virtual wholesaling, that was just you.
Yeah.
Flips was
Yeah. That was me. And then I connected with a guy, he was an agent out there. And then we started doing some flips together.
got you.
And wholesaling and, he was like he became boots on the ground basically to like,
Got you.
close deals and do all that. And then I would fly out there here and there. And then I started buying, started like kind of buying more rentals out there and
Yeah.
kept that going. And then,
Do you still have any of those rentals?
no,
You
actually, I got out of it.
Really?
Yeah, during COVID. Like, so I had like,
Oh.
one time I had like 7 evictions going on.
Oh my god.
One time. It was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Terrible, And like people not paying and you're just like,
You send the note plus the attorney fees. It's like
it was bad. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, luckily like the houses like didn't like, I got them at good prices. So,
Yeah.
I didn't like lose money. And then I had like a contractor walk off with like $60K on one flip. He like bought all the, or said he bought all the materials for the kitchens, like the ACs and like all the stuff. And then I just
For
straight up
60?
$60K. Yeah. It was a 2-family. I converted to like 2 condos. So I was
Oh.
buying the material for both.
yeah.
I see.
And he just literally I never saw him again. Yeah.
What?
Damn.
Walked up. So that was like a big hit for me. That was like trying to like fight to get this house finished. And then all of a sudden I'm just
How did
out
that
60
happen?
grand.
What went wrong there? Can we break that down? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. I mean, like what happened is, don't pay your contractor that much up front,
Mhm.
pay like the supplier directly or, figure something out. Yeah. Like don't give that much up front.
Yeah.
Like he did some work, like really, he did like demo and like he brought like 12 guys and I'm like, oh, this guy's legit. Like he's gonna crank this house out, and then literally after the demo, then he just like disappeared. So he like got my trust quick, cause I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
like he just made so much progress and then he just,
Holy
use
moly, dude.
that as like advantage. And then,
Smart. On his
yeah.
phone.
he's a pastor too. Yeah.
He's
Yep.
still a pastor, do you know?
I don't know. It's a good question. Yeah.
Probably not. Not a man of God anymore.
But yeah,
That's,
wow. And then he had like a shell company. So like, what he's doing. So I had nothing to go out. I hired an attorney and like, it's like, there was nothing to go after. Like the guy's like we're not going to find him,
Shoot.
Yeah. So,
Holy moly.
Big guy.
Okay. I'm going to tie this into, first time fixing flippers.
yeah.
What are like the maybe 1 or 2 biggest mistakes that most flippers or new flippers make that kill them?
I would say probably hiring the wrong contractors is the biggest thing, hiring the wrong guys. Like hiring the wrong contractors could make your project a living hell. And like you got to hire the right people.
Do you personally hire them is it you hiring them? You talk to them face to face, or how do you vet them?
No, so normally like my partner will handle that. Like I don't handle contract. My pet peeve is contractors. Like, yeah, it stresses me out. Like project, like, I don't like, I like the finished product. I don't like I don't like as much as like the middle,
Yeah. That's facts.
middle of the project. Yeah. I like finding the deals.
Yeah.
And then I like selling the deals, you know. So I like
smart man.
I like that part.
That leads to a question. What's your structure with your partner? What do you guys do? And who's your like, I remember we talked about this before. Like we were at the we were getting suits. You said you have different partners for different things. What does your like main partner look like, you and him? What do you guys do?
Yeah.
What's your structure of your business?
So I mean, basically, well, it depends. Like, so I have a couple deals in New York and then Connecticut. So right now, like, kind of in both markets.
Yeah.
But like in Connecticut, what we'll do is basically I find the deal, he'll manage the construction, and then I'll sell the house on the back end.
Okay.
As the agent. Yeah.
Smart.
So like I'll do that, and then he manages the contractors, and I don't want to hear from him until the house is done. It is done. Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Sometimes we'll call, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. So you guys like set a budget and that's it, type thing.
Yeah, we normally go over. I feel like that's most projects, right?
Yeah.
Set the rehab budget, it goes over a little bit.
What kind of KPIs do you track in your business? How do you know you guys are like doing okay? And what's important?
That's a good one. Honestly, like could definitely be better at that. Sometimes like I'm not gonna lie, it's like you're just fighting to stay, stay afloat.
Yeah.
Like especially if like you have a lot of money out on flips. And you're just like you just feel like the money's just going out, like interest payments, just money, bank account lower, and you're just waiting for like a deal to like sell, so then your bank account gets replenished.
Yeah.
Shoot.
So I mean that's the reality. Like no matter what, you're always the cash flow problem is like so real in flipping. Especially when you have multiple projects going on at once, and then it takes time like to slow cycle.
Yeah.
To buy a house, renovate it, then sell it. Like, normally it's like 6 months.
Yeah.
9 months. Like, so it's not like these are like month turnarounds.
Yeah.
So it takes time.
Takes time.
Got you. It is. We're quickly realizing that too.
It's just because it's Arlington, man. I swear, Arlington's moving fine. No complaints.
Yeah.
It's a good house, good project.
I really. It's likely that Burlington finishes before Southington.
There's no likely. It is, bro. I swear it is.
Really?
Well,
yes, bro. Oh my
When's
God.
Southington gonna be done? You think?
Great question. Honestly, I'd have to think about it for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm hoping 4 weeks.
Dude, it's crazy because the issue that I'm dealing with right now is the inspectors don't know what code to abide by. So they took a week. Well, the guy that they assigned me to was on vacation for a week when we were supposed to go.
Really?
So that
annoying.
That was a big slap in the face. But then coming back, we had another on-site meeting, and same thing. He was like, "Oh shoot, like, the case they made was okay. You did more to the house than you said on the permit.
Yeah.
Don't blame you though, because it's because of the condition of the house. Good, you did the right thing. However, I still have to go see what standards everything needs to be at, because they didn't know. The argument we made was that it's existing, so we're just going by the existing book.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like, it's a little more complicated than that. I'm like, fair, just tell me what it needs to be.
Yeah.
And they're like, I got to go see.
Oh.
And so then there's like, eventually they're like, okay, we don't have a specific code book for your situation. So just stick to the new construction code book while we get back to you. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
We're
dude.
like, all right, we're going to address and fix anything that we possibly can.
Yeah.
Right. So we're like, all right, this needs to be this. Okay, cool. Whatever. No issues. Great. What now? Okay. Now we want a structural engineer to approve everything you just did. I'm like, holy moly, are you serious, bro? But I'm like, I could give you the reference, literally where to find it in the book. My headers are fine. My openings are fine. They nailed me for something electrical. And I was like, shit. Okay.
Who did the electrical?
so I was like, what? So they're like, just get a structural guy to come in, approve it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, great. What do you want them to approve? I'll get back to you with a list of everything. Let me figure it out. I'm like, come on, man. Everything's fine. I can give you references. Like, I pulled everything from the book, man. Like, it's not my first time putting together a house. Like, and they're like, just to stay on the safe side, get a structural guy in there, and then we'll continue with the other inspections.
Oh,
I'm like, holy moly.
Brutal, man.
I'm like, so we've been spending the last couple of like days here and there, fixing that.
that's why you guys are done with flips?
Who told you you're doing flips?
You.
Oh.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, you said that too.
I said it?
Yeah, you've said that too.
Oh,
I've
well.
heard you say it to people. I was telling him.
You said it at the meetup
Oh, yeah.
in Middletown.
We're done. We're not done. We're just going to if we flip, we're just going to systemize it more so to the point of like quicker in and outs, like have like factor in like a GC. That way it doesn't take Marcus away so much. That way it's like he can just focus on the ads. 'Cause, like we're really going to double down our ad spend and everything like that. So if we do take on a flip, like it has to be meaty enough for like Miguel, our GC, to go in there and like get it done without us like having to do too much.
He says if we do, but I very much want to go like this and just focus on ads, wholesale.
Yeah. Wholesale innovations. Because it's just like quick money, man. And then we're
Just
like yeah,
I
it's, yeah.
You don't like the construction?
Oh, I love it, dude. I like it, but it's like I feel like if we had to like narrow in on one thing, I feel like I'm not in the best position to get flips moving at the rate that they maybe should. If I wasn't doing what we're doing, the flips wouldn't be, we can have shit in and out. I'll just hire like, a couple primos and
yeah, facts.
we can move.
You know
shit
what that
like
means?
That.
It means I don't know what it means. I've heard him say it. I thought it just meant like friends. I thought it was like called me out on the spot. Oh shit. Damn. On the spot. That was embarrassing.
He checked you right away.
I know. I don't know why. I wasn't even gonna say anything. I was gonna go with it.
Seriously. I mean, we can hire a couple primos be in and out.
Yeah.
But like we need more leads coming in, dude. There's stuff we could do social online. There's all sorts of stuff we could do marketing wise, and maybe for 12 months, our coach goes like this all the time. Just fucking focus in on a couple things and just stack up some cash. Also in and out quicker. Just stack up some cash and maybe puts us in a position to buy again.
Yeah.
Right. We didn't necessarily. Well, I didn't have a problem selling Stearns, but like we want to.
You hated the house.
I did hate the house, but
I liked it, bro. I thought it was good.
Well, it would have been fine, but we ran into some issues where like sell it, great, move on.
Yeah,
we'd like to buy again, and maybe wholesaling, just getting shit out, might lead to being in a better position to buy. Because I think. You would agree it's easier to manage maybe a 10 plus unit building than a bunch of 2, 3, 4,
yeah,
like
of course.
So maybe I don't know, maybe we just kind of focus a little bit, but I don't know. What I did kind of want to ask for your feedback. You think people like us are, like is there such thing as like doing too much, do you think, or how do you
for sure
decide, like especially for your workload? When do you decide that, okay, maybe that's a little far out of my reach, or maybe I'm over leveraging myself? What are your like guidelines?
I mean, I think I'm guilty of trying to take on as much as I can, at times, which is good and bad, right? So, I mean, you got to be careful. Like, got to know when it's like you're biting off more than you could chew a bit, and be like, all right, do I really need this deal? Like, am I forcing this deal, or like, is this like a deal I can't pass up on, Because there's always more deals out there, There's always more deals. There's like always, so it's like you said, like, put your blinders on and just like lock in for a year. Like the deals aren't going to go, like they're going to be around in a year.
Yeah.
It's like they're not going to, right? Like there's more houses out there.
That's facts.
I think people think that like there's only so many out there. Like they have like a scarcity mindset, So.
Always more. You can always build more buildings.
How do you decide to pass on something?
Now, like I'll like use like actual profitability numbers and be like, all right, if this isn't making, say, I don't know, 40 grand, or actually like 50 grand, honestly now is kind of like the minimum. I feel like if it's like not, like 30K flips, like just it's not worth it. You know, it's not worth the squeeze, and the time and all that, you know, the effort and capital tied up for like small profits. So just try to like, you know, leave enough margin in there, and then also just like not forcing a deal, you know. So being conservative because you don't want to get hurt. Like if the market does change, you know, which I think it is changing right now a little bit on people. You know, you don't want to you don't want to get caught with your pants down. You know?
Yeah, that is true. So when you say market, what do you mean by market change? Where do you see us going?
I wish I had that answer because we think we'd all make a lot of money if we knew where it's going, you know?
Okay. What are you doing to kind of like brace yourself? Is there anything you may be pivoting? Are you doing anything?
Just being more conservative on the buy side, you know, like I was saying, like just not needing to buy every single deal out there, you know, and just making like buying in good towns like that, you know, I know that we're like closer to starter home pricing rather than like being the top. Like I don't want to be the most expensive house in a town, you know, ideally, because I think that's when you get, sometimes they sit, you know. So like, you know, trying to keep days on market like on the lower end of things rather than, you know, higher, because I do have a couple that are just sitting right now, you know, and it's not fun.
Blows. You still pay that interest.
You still got to pay. Still got to pay the bank.
Still got to pay the bank. They don't care. Interesting.
Would you recommend somebody still get into the real estate business? And if so, like what path?
Yeah, I think there's always opportunity. Like no matter what the market's doing, there's always opportunity, you know. But I think it's like you got to know what you're willing to like do, right? Like do you have more money? Like you have a full-time job and you have money where you could fund the business, or do you like you have a lot of time so you could just like go hustle and, you know, like work off of a, you know, pre-foreclosure list and just like hammer it hard, you know, with time. So I think it's like, what are you willing to put into it?
If you liked the video so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out a lot. Feel free to leave us feedback. So we have a lot of people coming on, a lot of cool other investors. We have people who specialize in Airbnb, commercial real estate, short terms, flips, raising money, equity, you name it. We have them coming on. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing as we make more videos. If you want to learn more about wholesales, I encourage you to check out our free 9-module masterclass right on our channel. It teaches you everything you need to know. We go from zero to hero. If you're already comfortable wholesaling, but you want to learn more about novations, click the link in the description. We have a whole step-by-step masterclass about how to run novations, how to pitch it, how to sell it, and how to make a lot more money rather than just doing standard assignments. So make sure you check that out if you're ready to take your business to the next level. All right, thanks for sticking with me. Back to the video.
You hear it like time and time. It's all over social media. It's like, oh, wholesaling's over, like saturated. It's so this, it's so that. It's like, but then I don't know. You also hear the other side where it's like everybody wants to be a wholesaler and only a wholesaler.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you well, I guess I can kind of tie this into like, you said you didn't want to do sales. How do you like pick something? Because like I think there's also an abundance of people who are just like not sure what the hell they even do.
Yeah.
How'd you find your thing?
I don't know. I just kind of found what I like doing. Like I would try and do at first all the things in real estate, right? Like, you know, okay, you have your lights, like you're finding the house, you know, you're managing the rehab, you're selling the house, like you're doing everything. And then you realize, wait, like I'm not really that good at this. You know, someone's better at this. And then, or you're like, this really stresses me out. Like for me, like the, like managing contractors really stresses me out. Like I don't like that side of the business. So I was like, all right, I have to partner with someone who is good at that, you know? So
how do you vet a partner?
What?
How do you vet partners? How do you decide whether somebody would make a good partner or not?
I think one big thing is like just kind of having similar like core values, just as like like someone in general, right? Like I feel like if you don't trust, you know, it's like general or it's obvious, but like if you don't trust someone, like don't do business with them.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I feel like if you talk to someone for a little while and like you don't really mesh well with them,
you're
like, you know, this isn't going to work out, you know?
Right.
And there's like people that feel like if like there's younger, like we're in a space where it's like, how many people will judge you based on like your age?
A lot.
right?
I feel like a ton, yeah.
Like
I
a
feel
ton,
that's
right? Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of cool to like work with like other younger, like-minded people that are like motivated and like, you know, want to get things done.
Make some money.
Yeah. So, and it's fun to like do stuff with people that like you enjoy working with.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think that's one thing. And then also just like, working with someone that you know is going to like compliment you like on like what you're not good at, you know?
Yeah.
So like you guys work well together.
Yeah, we're trying.
Yeah.
Trying, man.
Yeah, we give it a shot, a good shot.
Do the best we can. That's it.
That's all we can do, bro. That's all we can do.
Do you have any horror stories? Any partner horror stories?
I mean, just the biggest horror story is probably losing 60 grand to a contractor.
That's terrible.
You know, that was my big hit. And then, you know, some of the evictions and stuff in Ohio.
Damn. How about with like a partner? Like people, have you got burned before?
Not partner wise like that. Yeah.
Because I sometimes like, I hear people say things like, don't partner with family, or some people recommend you don't partner with like, I don't know. There's all sorts of weird rules, or like if you're friends, like don't get into business with friends or type of thing. Like, how do you feel about all that?
I mean, so like my partner is one of my good friends, and you know, and we like, but we became friends through kind of work at first, you know, and then it turned into like a, you know, like a work, and then also like just friendship, you know. So I think we, you know, we work well together, but it's funny, like I'll get mad at him, not like seriously, but just like quickly in my mind, and then I'm like, wait, like that's like the friend thinking, not like the, you know, the business person, you know.
Wow.
So because you have like different relationships with the same person essentially, right? You have your work relationship and your personal relationship, so you got to like almost separate the two at times, right? And be like, all right, who am I thinking like right now?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
shoot.
That's smart.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
Huh.
Right?
I feel like we do that subconsciously.
I think we do, yeah.
Like
facts.
Huh.
I'm always pissing off Marcos.
Well,
but especially when I'm stressed.
No. You know what? Like with us, like
here we go.
If something happens, if like I know I mess up too. I'm not trying to out you, but like if you mess up something, my mind is more like shit. How do we fix it? Versus like if it were anybody else, dude, I'll be like, dude, what the fuck, you idiot? What are you like? Yeah. But like, but if something goes on with us, my mind is quickly like, okay, oh well, how do we fix this?
Get real quick.
And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I've never really noticed that divide, where it's like, and then after the fact, we give each other shit for the stuff that we do, but like
we over communicate everything. That's like a big big thing we do. Like
that's good.
Always communicate. That's what our mentor taught us too, our coach, because you don't want to have like anything in the crack, in the weeds. We just like every decision we'll make it together type shit. And just like every single like avenue of the business, I'm like, yo, I think we should do this. And Marcos will give us like feedback on it. We still do it, even if it's not good feedback. Like,
that's like even if I disagree with something, we got to do it.
Yeah, I almost sorry.
No, sorry. No, you go ahead.
I almost talked us into buying like a fucking woman. I tell you, it's a woman's only sober house.
No,
I thought it was a great deal, and Mark was like, "This isn't great." I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna put the offer in anyways." And I put the.
Where was it?
It was in Hartford on Martin Ave, I think. Not Martin Ave. It was a different street, but Babcock Ave in like shitty area. Great house. Net like $3,000 a month, but like you got to think about like. It was a tough deal. They also had a high entry, and it's like, how are the women gonna react when like they find out two guys bought it, and like the lady who like owned it was like a nice like caring black lady, and then like some fucking two random dudes bought it. I figured it wouldn't be the best.
Somebody asked me about that too, and they were like,
about that deal.
No, they've asked us about our dynamic, and I was like, yeah, like. I think they asked about that deal specifically. They were like, "Oh, is he still going to go after it?" He was like, "Well, essentially what they were asking was like, how do you put up with that?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Yeah, well, if you don't agree, like, why don't you like tell him?" I'm like, That's my partner, dude. That's my partner. If he's gonna, I don't want to buy, like, you know, but if he does it, fuck it.
No, I wouldn't put us into a bad spot. Like if it was like if we got under contract and like we really looked at the numbers, we would just like wholesale it out. So I think the numbers would work, but like now Marcus took me out of it. So
that's what you need. I need that too. Like my partner does that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, like you get excited about a deal, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this is the you know, it's a good deal.
See the cash.
Yeah, like, yeah. You get all fired up, and then, you know, my partner will like kind of talk me down to earth a little bit.
Yeah.
Be like, all right, like, well, look how much money we have, or, you know, or like, is this going to make money, or like, you know, that's some of the realities that you got to hear sometimes.
If we bought that deal, we would not be buying anything else in here, bro. We would have, we'd be fresh out of money. They usually make $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Maybe. Cut that down to like 1,500. Like, but yeah, that was bad. But
yeah. I'm sure you don't regret the decisions you've made. But like, I don't think people understand, like, it is the entrepreneurial path hard? Like, how hard is it actually? Because everyone just sees like the money, but like, what do you deal with, bro?
Fucking lonely, man. It's a lonely world out there.
It is.
You're on your own, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like, I mean, I have my partner, but he has a painting company full time, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm real estate full time.
Yeah.
You know? So like, I mean, and then you don't realize that some days you're just, like, you guys have each other, you know? So you're like, you could come to the office, you could do lucky, that, you know? 100%. I mean, I work from home, you know, normally, like, but I like that environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I like just like pacing on my phone, you know? Yeah. Walking back and forth in my house, right. Like, you know, miles on miles.
It is a vibe.
Just walking around. But you know, but it's like, it is lonely. So you gotta like, that's why you gotta connect with other investors and, you know, even just talking to other wholesalers or flippers, you know, and just talking with them, you know, just to like kind of get your head in the right, you know, in the same space and just, you know, talk about stuff. Because it's like, people always see they think that it's just this, you know, this great spectacular thing. And you're just, you know, the real life part is harder than the
business,
you know, the business itself. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's real. I
the balance too.
Yeah. That's funny. That's about what literally was one of our questions. The balance, but yeah, no, it's I get that. It is like before I had Marcos, I had another partner and like we didn't really like mesh that well. We're still friends, but we didn't mesh that well in business, but it was like trying to do stuff and you're just like by yourself. You're like, it's kind of blows. You know?
Yeah.
So like and I didn't get anywhere. So I didn't have someone who like complimented the things that I lacked. We didn't get anywhere. That's when we like me and Marcus came together and we were like, if we could do this shit. So yeah, it's good. But in terms of like, are you gonna ask that question?
I wanted to ask about the workload.
Yeah.
A little further, because like I got Chipotle once, not too long ago.
Only once?
No,
actually,
no, bro. This dude gets Chipotle like 4 times a week and wonders why he's like shitting liquid, bro. I swear to God.
No, it's not the Chipotle. I swear.
It's the Chipotle.
It's not the Chipotle,
dude. He has no stomach, no intestinal lining, nothing. He's literally.
It's not, bro. Chipotle is fire, bro. I told him about the secret, bro.
He's dying.
The 100 grams of protein, bro. You can't beat it, bro.
He's literally shaved off like 10 to 20 years of his life. I swear.
Bro. Nah, bro. You know what? We're already competing lifting wise. I'll compete you. I'll outlive you too, bro.
You're not gonna outlive with the way you're eating. So we eat out like it's off top. We eat out like almost every day.
Yeah,
we're here and like we don't cook, so like we eat out every day. I try and go for like the healthier options. So like we got gyros today.
We eat the same thing, bro. What the fuck you mean? You try to get healthier options?
He's trying to act like he's some great.
Yeah, so fucking like I'm him. But no, like example, like Mission Barbecue. I'm like, yo, we can go to Mission because you can get a la carte meat. You can get chicken and salmon a la carte without anything else.
No, dude, I run straight to the bathroom after Mission. Dude.
I don't know why.
It's
because your stomach's not used to like food that doesn't have any additives.
Dude, what do you mean? Mission, bro, that's just frozen. Probably.
Well, probably.
I just see all the freezers in the back,
yeah,
bro.
Facts. Yeah, it's probably
frozen. Preservative my ass, bro. Chipotle is fresh.
But no, all the microplastics is why you're shitting liquid, bro. All the microplastics in there, your nuts are literally covered in plastic. I swear, they're saran wrapped because like the amount of microplastics. And fun fact, Google it. Chipotle has the highest microplastic percentage amongst any fast food.
Oh shit,
that's bad.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna fact check that because I refuse to believe that.
Fact check.
I'm gonna fact check that.
Oh,
but
anytime.
But anyways,
Sorry.
Off topic.
I got
It's off topic.
I was getting dinner, and this was just like it was like 5 o'clock. I was getting a quick Chipotle bowl, and I was like, I need some time out of the office, so I'm just gonna sit at Chipotle, eat the plate there, look out the window, see the sunset, and I'm just gonna eat my food. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I just ate. I just people watched. I ate. I gave myself like 20, 25 minutes, and somebody walks in, like an old team, somebody that I knew from high school walks in, and they're like, "Oh, hey man, dude, you just getting off work?" And I paused, and I was like, well, no. And in my head, I'm like, I have like another 4 hours of work to go.
Yeah.
I got to go back to the office. I got to finish this, and then I have to prep for. I was like, so I paused when he said that, and I was like, no. I was like, I guess you could say that. And they're like, huh? What do you mean? I'm like, yeah. I'm pretty much done for the day. How you been? Type of thing. Oh yeah, I just got off. Like, I'm ready to go home, and I'm just gonna chill with my girlfriend, and we're just gonna watch a movie. I was like, awesome, dude. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great to see you. And they left, and I just, you walk away, and I'm like, huh, like, we, and again, I'm not like, I don't regret anything, but it's like, but it's like people don't realize that like your work never stops, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of experienced that, like, oh shit, like we've lost some friends and stuff like that because again, you're so like, you're so conscious about your time. Did you go through something? What did you go through? Did you go through something similar? Did you like lose friends? Do you lose people because of like the work commitments, or what's that like been? What's that been like?
I don't have it. I don't think anyone has it fully figured out. Even now, like I still like, I don't like. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh yeah, I found the answers. Like, I got this. It's like everything's great. No, but it's like it's hard. It's the balance is that's a constant. That's a constant thing, like having to like continuously find the balance. And it's hard, it's really hard. Like for me, at least, like I like to go to the gym or run and, and like exercise. Like if I don't get that like time for myself, like if I'm just like strictly real estate or just, work, like I just like, after a while, it's just too much. You just burn out and you start burning out. So, even like golfing, I like doing activities that like try to like not have my phone on, because with our phones, like we're always just on our phone, and it's like, how easy could someone just get a hold of you for work? Like it's always like you're gonna respond to it right away, or if it's something you don't really want to deal with, you're not gonna respond to it, and then you're gonna like think about it, right? It's probably gonna be in the back of your head now. It's like, oh yeah, that person just requested this, showing, and it's like, like whatever it is, and then it's just. Now you just have like 10 reminders of things that like you should do, as you're looking at your schedule probably right now, like, oh, wow, I have all these things I have to do now, and it's like, it's overwhelming, as well. So like, I think turning it off or just putting it away is like the hardest thing, but the best thing to do.
How do you know you need a break? And what's your like go-to activity? Yeah.
I gotta like travel. Like I gotta go travel. Like I'll go to like Mexico and just try to like be in an environment that's just like more relaxed, like slower pace. Cause like here it's like go, like go to this appointment, go here, go there, get in the car, go here, go there. Mexico, for example, for me at least, like I'm walking around everywhere, like I'm like, I wake up and it's like, you go walk to get food, and like, you go walk here, and it's just like, that alone makes it slower for me, like slower pace, if like I'm fast paced if I'm driving, and then,
that's facts.
And then, and then you're following everyone else. You see everyone else just doing the same thing. Like everyone's on the grind. Like you ever go to New York City during like a work, like rush hour? It's like,
it's brutal, bro.
Yeah.
It's brutal. They're animals. They're fucking animals.
It's crazy. Like
taxis, people just walking the
menace.
street.
People just like, boom,
Yeah. And then, that's what I'm saying. You'll be driving and then someone just walks. They're just like, they're animals. They just don't fucking.
It's
I don't care.
So, like I have to like do that to get away, to like reset. Yeah. And I've caught myself too, like times where like it's been too long without resetting, and I'm like, why am I like so burnt out right now, or just like shot, like drained from things? Because sometimes it gets draining, Yeah. And then you're like, oh yeah, I haven't traveled in a couple months. Like, well, I gotta go do something.
Yeah,
change the scenery a little bit,
But real estate gives you the freedom to do that, kind of whatever. Which is awesome.
That's the cool thing. Yeah, I mean, like, so I could be there and like. All I need is a computer and my phone, and then the rest can be managed from, from that. So,
not bad.
And just having the right people in place.
That's badass, dude.
Here.
It's not a bad trade-off.
Badass.
Yeah.
And then I picture like a fucking cartel boss, and they're just,
a cartel boss.
They're just giving orders from the phone.
Oh, it's so
everything's getting done because, like,
yeah. Sorry,
I heard you guys. I didn't. Well, you guys played pickleball not too long ago.
Yeah, we did.
I heard Nick smoked all of you.
I didn't say that. I said I was. I
think he's probably the worst one there, actually.
You think so? You think I'm that? Oh, it's just 4 o'clock. Oh my god. You think I was that bad?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Damn, bro. You should have. I heard it for like 30 minutes straight. Dude.
I thought it was pretty good.
He smoked everyone.
Oh, okay.
He did not smoke everyone though. That's for sure.
To be fair, statistically, I was the worst one there. But
I had to play with like these professionals.
Dude,
I got thrown into a game with like these like guys that were like
prorated, right?
Prorated.
Yeah.
Really?
Guys wearing like goggles and like
indoors
goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Yeah, it was like,
no
like
visor.
The
specs. Yeah.
The specs, but he had. Ryan was like, he has no brands, no brand for anything, no brand shirt and shoes, but no brand shirt, short shoes, bro.
Oh shoot,
just activewear.
Oh, he's a tryhard. Huh?
Yeah. He would have smoked you. He'd have dusted you, bro. Yeah. Did you think he was nice?
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
When you played on his team, right? I remember he did something. He's like, man, you should have done him like this. But like, you would have known. Who would have known? Who knew that? You know what I mean? I was like, geez. He's like, I don't want to play with him. I'd be embarrassed.
I was up, but I performed. We won.
You did pull up, bro.
We won. That was my second time ever playing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you dusted.
So it was hard.
Oh shoot. Do you like games like that?
Yeah, I like being competitive. I'm a competitive person.
What are you doing Sunday?
What Sunday?
Oh, dude, we're trying to play some.
My cousin's quinceañera in my backyard.
Yeah.
We're running volleyball all afternoon, dude.
Yeah. You got volleyball?
Dude, if you want to get smoked.
Yeah, no, it's like they'll have like parties, but they'll like fucking host like events. So if you want to come, bro.
Dude, my partner in Vegas, he's from Honduras, and so it's like the Hispanic families run deep, dude.
Yeah.
So they're like every cookout or party's like fucking 60 people.
Yeah, we try. I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. But we play games, man. We'll play volleyball. Sometimes we'll set up the badminton nets. We
got badminton too.
Yeah. We go pretty hard. Like last summer,
we're doing volleyball this weekend.
Yeah, last summer I ran the tournament. I won my team.
Really?
He still calls me unathletic.
Dude, you're not athletic, bro.
I literally 3 hours. I was playing back to back matches. I won every match.
Undefeated?
It was King
of
of the Hill.
A 7-year-old and a 9-year-old on my team.
That's not true.
You should have beat me.
That's not fucking true. That's not true. There were other people playing. There was no. Marcos just so happened to jump, and Marcos played on a different team too. You played on 2 teams, I think, and you still lost both.
Both with younger girls.
That's not true.
Because I had to be handicapped because otherwise, I would have had no fun.
That's literally not true. He's sitting for the camera.
But I don't know if you like paddleboarding and stuff like that, or tubing, or like, I would love to have like a beach trip and just run volleyball at the beach.
Yeah, if you want to like
that'd be,
we could do that.
Beach volleyball, yeah.
Dude, I would love to set something up.
My mom's all about beach volleyball.
Really? Bring your mom, dude. Love to meet her. I swear, not to sound like weird.
If she wants,
it sounded a little weird.
It sounds like it's a bring your mom. Cut that so Tommy doesn't see.
No, dude. But we'll also do ultimate frisbee or football, like 2-hand touch. If you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Again, you want to get smoked, dude.
All right.
Yeah. No,
if he's as good as at that as he is at pickleball,
wait till you see me in volleyball, bro. Oh, I'm nice. I'm spiking on people. No, I'm not. I'm so short. I play a good deep guard. Like, but I'm back in the field. Like I'm fucking making sure everything stays good. I can set you up.
Yeah.
You can jump and spike.
I'm just as tall as you, man.
No, that's the issue, bro.
He probably got more hops in him.
That's
though.
literally
Come
not
on.
true. Yeah, look at my fucking legs, bro. They're massive. That's just all because I jump high. It's not true.
No,
yeah,
but
good.
I don't know. Personally, I feel like that would be cool to get away from everything. And you guys are.
We gotta do that sometimes. Look at my phone after.
Yeah.
I put everything in my calendar. I try to,
Word?
so I don't forget. Yeah.
Smart man. I was
I'm just saying, if you want to get smoked, dude.
All right.
That's it. Any other last minute questions?
I'm good. Thank you for coming on with us.
Yeah,
man.
of course.
I know Plainville's a drive from Sherman, bro. So